मण्डलं धृतकुण्डले श्रीकमलाकुज मण्डलं धृतकुण्डले कालिका ललिता वनमाला जय जय देव हरे कालिका ललिता वनमाला जय जय देव हरे दीनमणिमण्डल मण्डन भवखण्डने दीनमणिमण्डल मण्डन भवखण्डने मुनिजनमानसहंसा जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे तारिय विषधर गंजना जनरंजने तारिय विषधर गंजना जनरंजने जादूकुल नलीन दिनेता जादूकुल नलीन दिनेता जय जय देव हरे जादूकुल नलीन दिनेता जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जगन्नाथ हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जगन्नाथ हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे अमधुमुर नरक विनाशन गरुडासन मधुमुर नरक विनाशन गरुडासन सुर सुर के निदाना सुर सुर के निदाना जय जय देव हरे सुर सुर के निदाना जय जय देव हरे अमल कमल दल लोचन भव मोचन अमल कमल दल लोचन भव मोचन त्रिभुवन भवन निधान त्रिभुवन भवन निधान जय जय देव हरे त्रिभुवन भवन निधान जय जय देव हरे जनक सुता कृत भूषण जित दूषण जनक सुता कृत भूषण जित दूषण समर समित दस कंठा समर समित दस कंठा जय जय देव हरे समर समित दस कंठा जय जय देव हरे अभिनव जलधर सुंदर ऋत मंदर अभिनव जलधर सुंदर ऋत मंदर श्रीमुख चंद्र चकोरा श्रीमुख चंद्र चकोरा जय देव हरे तव चरणी परतावय मिति भावय तव चरणी परतावय मिति भावय कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु जय जय देव हरे कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु जय जय देव हरे श्री जय देव कबे हृदा कुरुते मुदा श्री जय देव कबे हृदा कुरुते मुदा मंगलमो जय गीता जय जय देव हरे मंगलमो जय गीता जय जय देव हरे 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 बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण
Goswami doing pranam, offering his dandat pranam to his Gurudeva, because he is going to begin Srimad Bhagavatam. Also he is telling, Jang Swanubhav Makhila Sutisar Deepa Adhyatma Deepam Atitirtha Satang Tamondha. Or this Srimad Bhagavatam, Swanubhava Akhila Sutisar. This is the abstract of whole Vedic literature, Puran, and all Purans, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Gita, everything. This is the essence, abstract of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is also a pradeep like lamp. By lamp, in the darkness we see something. To us also and others also. So Srimad Bhagavatam. By reading, by following Srimad Bhagavatam, by hearing from any bona fide guru, he can see transcendental Krishna, his associates and his sweet pastimes. So, Sansarina Karunyaha, Vyasdeva taught his son, wow, with Karuna, and also with a great mercy to world, these living entities. My Gurudeva, Sukadeva Goswami, out of mercy he has told this Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Shortly we should hear one. And then he began to Srimad Bhagavatam. Sabai punsang paro dharmo jato bhakti radhokkaje ahetu kap pratihata jayatma samprasidati. Oh, you. And also you should explain Anya Vilasita. You should try to be Parikshit Maharaj, who was dying after 7 days, and he forget to take anything, water even, no prasadam, no water, no sleeping, day and night Harikatha Shravana. And only in 7 days he left his body without any suffering and went to Golok Vrindavan. So you should try to hear like Sukadeva, Parikshit Maharaj.
Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Itadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my Dandavat pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali to the lotus feet of my beloved Diksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Asto Tarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. And secondly, I'm offering my equal Dandavat pranams and Shraddha Pushpanjali to the lotus feet of my beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Om Vishnupad Asto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, our beloved Srila Gurudev. And to all of the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, friends and guests, all the Tridandi Sannyasigan, my Dandavat pranams. We are very fortunate to be hearing this introduction to the most glorious literature on the surface of the earth planet, titled Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Gurudeva has kindly given us this synopsis of the introduction, actually bringing us to that very place. Here, he is sitting as the representative of the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva. And he is seated here before us on this Vyasa Asan. And he is disseminating this very same message that has been broadcast down through the ages for more than 5,000 years. We are hearing this divine message of Srimad Bhagavatam, the most potent spiritual topics that exist on our earth planet today, by hearing which any living being may attain the highest perfection of human form of life. So, in this introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Gurudeva has been narrating the various personalities who are the speakers of this great message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the questions that were asked by the great learned sages, more than 80,000 sages present there. And they're asking relevant questions. How a human being may become actually perfectly happy in his soul. Not on the bodily level, on the level of this material body, senses and mind, but on the level of the eternal Atma. Atma means self or soul. So the questions the sages were asking was, what is the highest activity that performing any person, any human being, he may become completely Atma Samprasidati, perfectly happy. So, in response to this, Sri Sutta Goswami, the chief speaker in this assembly, he stated, Savaipung saparo dharmo, yato bhaktir adhokshaje, ahai tuki apratihata, ye atma samprasidati. Savaipung samparo dharmo. He immediately went straight to the point and he said, the topmost, supreme paradharma, supreme activity that any human being may perform, it is called Bhakti, pure devotional love. Bhakti, the activity of Bhakti performed toward adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means the absolute supreme truth, the supreme reality, the supreme personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, who is the creator of the creators of these material universes and planets. And he is the source of everything that exists. And he exists himself far beyond the range of our mind, intelligence, and senses. That personality of Godhead is adhoksaja, because no one is equal to or greater than him. Everyone is subordinate to him. And that personality cannot be approached by our demand, nor we can demand that he should come down to our level. But by performance of bhakti to that divine personality, which type of bhakti? It must be ahaituki bhakti. It must be devoid of any other motivations other than his happiness, to please him. Ahaituki. And apratihata. It must not be interrupted by anything. Not that we will do it one day a week, 1 hour a week, or that periodically at any time we may do some activity of bhakti. But here Sutta Goswami very carefully explained, it must be apratihata. It must be uninterrupted. That activity must be constantly going on 24 hours daily. And when that activity is performed by the Atma, by the soul, by the human being who has attained this human birth and now has the capability to render pure devotional activities to the Supreme Being, what becomes the result of that? Ye Atma Samprasidati. Here, Atma Samprasidati has two meanings. It means, Atma means the Supreme Self, the Supreme Absolute Personality. That is God, that is Krishna. when he becomes fully satisfied by the rendering of pure bhakti, then automatically the individual Atma, that is ourself, the tiny spirit souls within this world who are part and parcel of the Supreme Being, when that pure bhakti is rendered to the Supreme Being and he becomes satisfied, automatically we become satisfied. Just like if you pour water on the root of a tree, automatically the branches, the leaves of the tree, every single part of that tree receives the benefit of the water because it is given to the root. So the root of all living beings, we have all eternal connection with the Supreme Absolute Being, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. When pure devotional bhakti, bhakti yoga is rendered to him, then automatically we receive the benefit. It is distributed to ourselves and to all living beings. So how to understand this bhakti yoga process? How to properly perform this bhakti yoga process? Oh, our great acharyas in our line, coming down for thousands of years to the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Krishna in this Kali Yuga age. He taught to his most dear disciple, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, and Srila Rupa Goswami Pad conveyed these teachings of Bhakti Yoga to the entire world in his literature titled Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And there Srila Rupa Goswami explained what is the definition of Bhakti, so that we may know how to do Bhakti and how to avoid something which is not performing Bhakti. So therefore he described what is Bhakti? Anya vilashita shunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anakulyena krishnanu shilanam, bhaktir uttama. Here he is described uttama bhakti. Uttama bhakti means pure devotion, pure bhakti, which is untinged by anything else. It is the topmost form of bhakti. Just like if you ask for water, what are you asking for? You are asking for pure water. You don't want water adulterated by anything else. So similarly, the understanding of what is pure devotion, uttama bhakti, that is being described here. First of all, he explains, anya vilashita shunyam, that if one is doing pure bhakti, it will be completely devoid of any other desires.
We'll begin from Anukullena Krishna Anushila, then come to this point.
Okay.
What is bhakti and then uttama bhakti in two symptoms afterwards.
So in this verse, it is divided into two parts. And the second part is describing the principal symptom of bhakti. So there, that symptom is described as anakulyena Krishna anushilanam. Anukul means favorable. Favorable cultivation. Anushilanam. Anushilanam means that with one's mind, one's body, one's words, and even one's emotions, constantly flowing in this performance of activities that are favorable and pleasing to Krishna, and are flowing just like an unbroken stream of honey. This is the main symptom of bhakti. So that bhakti, which is constantly being performed for the happiness of Krishna, it must also have the external symptoms, the secondary symptoms.
More thing. What is the means anu and then shilanam? You should describe all these things. Anu means Nairantarya,
continuous without any break.
and in the guidance of Guru and Vaishnava. And what is favorable and not favorable by the example of Jashoda Maiya and Charumushti. All you should speak.
So, Nairantarya means constantly flowing, uninterrupted flow. So, Anushilanam refers to this word anu. Anu means constantly under guidance of Sri Guru, a perfected, realized spiritual master, under his guidance, performing these activities constantly and not with no interruption. Now, there are a couple of examples to make clear this understanding. What is actually pleasing to Krishna, performance in the category of performing bhakti. Now, we know that when Bhagavan Sri Krishna came into the wrestling arena of Kamsa, at that time, there were two very powerful wrestlers, Chanur and Mushtika. These two wrestlers, they had an order and a desire to kill Krishna. That was their motivation. So, Krishna and his friends came into the wrestling arena, and actually they were happy. They wanted to engage in wrestling because in the forest of Vrindavan, the cowherd boys and Krishna would often wrestle. And this playful activity in friendship gave great happiness and pleasure to Krishna. So in this wrestling arena, they were also entering, and they were thinking, oh, this will be a very fun activity. We will wrestle. So then when Krishna began to wrestle with these wrestlers, Krishna and Balaram were wrestling with Chanur and Mushtika. And Chanur and Mushtika were constantly pounding Krishna, and they were locking each other in very powerful locks, wrestling locks. And in this way, Krishna and Balaram were sporting and fighting with Chanur and Mushtika. And Krishna was feeling great happiness actually, because he was tasting ras. He was tasting vira ras, chivalry, and sporting. But Chanur and Mushtika, their whole motivation was that Krishna should be killed. So, can we say that Chanur and Mushtika were doing bhakti to Krishna? Because definition of bhakti is anukulyena, favorable for Krishna's happiness. But in this regard, they were not favorable to Krishna's happiness because they wanted to kill Krishna. So we cannot confuse the definition here by taking this statement of Anukul and applying it to Chanur and Mushtika. Now, on the other hand, we see that in the case of Mother Yashoda, naturally, her whole existence is given to Krishna for Krishna's pleasure as his mother. Every single thing she does, every thought she has, is to give happiness to Krishna. But we see that when Mother Yashoda was breastfeeding Krishna, and the milk that was left on the stove was boiling over. And when Mother Yashoda saw it boiling over, and suddenly she began to rush toward the stove to save the milk from boiling over, she had to quickly put Krishna down. And when she put Krishna down, Krishna was upset. Mother Yashoda has stopped giving me her breast milk. And he was very upset, like a small child will be upset. And then he went down from the bed and began to do some mischief. We know that whole story of Damodar Leela. So Mother Yashoda, she made Krishna upset. So can we say that she was doing bhakti to Krishna? Because she did not give direct happiness to Krishna? No, we cannot. Because Mother Yashoda's every activity was for Krishna. The purpose of the milk was for making milk sweets so that Krishna would become happy, completely satisfied by these milk sweets. And that she was also engaging the milk in the activity of serving Krishna. So in this way, Mother Yashoda was performing bhakti. So anukulyena Krishna anushilanam means constantly serving Krishna with the attitude that Krishna will be pleased, Krishna will be happy by this activity. So in the other side of this definition, there is the understanding of what bhakti is not. And here it says, anya abhilashita shunyam. This means that if one is performing actual bhakti as given here, then he will also not have any other abhilash, desires. No other desires other than to please Krishna. In other words, one's entire existence of body, mind, words, emotions, everything will constantly be absorbed in Krishna with no other types of desires impeding that flow. And ananyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. And also Rupa Goswami.
Why it has been told annabhilashita?
So
why? Why not annabhilash?
So in Anyavilashita Shunyam, there is the extra syllables ita. So here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained that this indicates that a devotee in normal circumstances, he will have no other desires other than performing bhakti to Krishna. He will not approach Krishna for fulfilling his desires. But in an extraordinary circumstance, like an emergency case where death may be coming suddenly, then at that time, the devotee may call out for Krishna. And, "Oh Krishna, save me." So Srila Rupa Goswami has placed this syllable here to understand explicitly that bhakti will not be harmed in that circumstance. Why? Because it is natural for the devotee. It is completely natural for him to be fully dependent on Krishna in every time, place, and circumstance. So when such emergency is coming, then the devotee completely depends and calls out for Krishna. So therefore, it will not be covered. Like in the case of Draupadi. Draupadi was so devoted to Krishna, but when Dushashan was trying to disrobe her in the assembly of the Kauravas, at that time, she was attempting to hold on to her sari, but he was overpowering her. And at that time, she called out and raised her hands in the air, "Oh Krishna, oh Krishna." And Krishna himself responded by becoming unlimited amounts of sari. So in that situation, it is still pure bhakti, it is not harmed. So, Anyavilashita Shunyam, Jnana Karmadi Anavritam. And also bhakti will not be covered. Bhakti will not be covered over by the process of developing jnana. Jnana means that one is trying to engage in developing impersonal knowledge of impersonal liberation, merging into the Supreme. Like there are many Mayavadis, many impersonalists, and they believe that the Atma can merge into the Supreme Atma and lose his own individual spiritual existence for eternity. So this kind of development of jnana, tending toward impersonal liberation, this will cover bhakti. And similarly, karma. Karma means selfish, sense-gratificatory seeking activities. That one is interested and one is performing bhakti in order to attain material happiness within this world, on this material level, or even in higher planets of this material universe, like heavenly planets, Swargalok, and so forth. This will also cover bhakti. And also activities of yoga, whereby a person practices mystic yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and their intention is to develop the mystic siddhis, or powers, very subtle powers by which they can manipulate material nature. So this will also cover bhakti. So here Rupa Goswami has explained so clearly what pure bhakti consists of, and what are the activities that will be opposed to bhakti, that will negate the effects of bhakti. So, in this assembly, in Naimisharanya forest, Srila Sutta Goswami has given also this very clear declaration that it is only by the performance of pure bhakti, ahoitukiya pratihata, which is never motivated by any other activity and is uninterrupted flow for the pleasure of Krishna. This alone will satisfy the Supreme Lord, and the soul will be completely satisfied by this. So this is the purport of this verse, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma.
Very good explanation. If you want to know more detail, you should read Bhakti Rasami Sindhu Bindu. And there Vishwanath Chakravarti, you must read. Then systematic way you can express all this. For Vritti Mulak, there are so many things to tell. Anukulya means those who are favorable. But those who are not favorable wish to reject all. And those who are favorable for Krishna, not only to please, both things, to please Krishna and for the benefit of Krishna, whether Krishna is weeping or not. This is pure bhakti. You should know that this bhakti covers from last his part from Shraddha.
Last fraction. Last fraction.
Last fraction of bhakti. That is Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Shraddha, though it has been told, Krishna Bhakti, if you are doing, your life is successful. But to desire to serve Krishna, this desire is really Shraddha. And from where it will come, and this desire is transcendental. It will only come by sadhu sang, by Gurudeva. By mercy of Krishna, it will come in his associates, and from there it will come in the heart. And then outer symptom will be, oh, he will have so much strong faith in Krishna words, epic words, Srimad Bhagavatam words, and Guru words. If he has no faith in epics, then no Shraddha. No, if he has no strong faith in his Guru word, no Shraddha. Even no faith in Krishna words, what he has told in Gita and especially in Bhagavatam, then not Shraddha. After that, Shraddha, second association of Bhakta. Then he realized that Guru is needed. Without Guru, we cannot enter in the realm of Bhakti. So we should take initiation from any bona fide in the form of cheaters, thousand and thousand. Oh, Gurus are here and there in this world. They are cheating others. They make disciples only for wealth. But they cannot remove the doubts of and also ignorance of devotees, and they cannot put bhakti in their hearts. So we should be careful for that. And then Guru Karan and 10 primary anga of symptom of bhakti. Guru Padrashra, Guru Shiksha taking from Gurudeva, Vishambhain, Gauru, Savai, all these things. Without Guru serving, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Without serving Gurudeva, oh, if he will hear no fruit, so we should serve him, obey him. And then Nishtha. After that, Ruchi. And then Asakti comes. And after Asakti, oh, Shuddha Sattva, Rati will come. Rati is transcendental. So, bhakti are of two kinds. One is Vaidhi Bhakti, and second is Raganuga Bhakti. Bhakti, first we should begin from Vaidhi Bhakti. But by hearing the sweet pastimes of Krishna from any bona fide Guru or Sadhu, if you have low greed to serve Krishna like Sudama, Siddham, Madhumangal, Subal, like Nandbaba, Jasodamaya, and more than that, like Gopis, and more to be the Palyadasi
maid servant
of Srimati Radhika, like Manjari. So gradually it comes. Also this bhakti is the service of Radhika to Krishna. And that is highest in prem, sneh, man, pranay, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav, adhirudh, rudh, adhirudh, modan, and then madanakhya. Mahabhav up to Mahabhav in all gopis. Some partly in Dwarkapuri also something.
Queen of Dwarka.
Queens of Dwarka, Satyabhama Rukmini. But after Mahabhav ruled Adhiru, not in anyone. And moreover, Mohan also, it may be in Chandravali and others. Moreover that, what?
Madanaka Mahabhav.
No, before. In Mohan, Attanta Brahmad Gita.
Chitrajalpa,
Oh,
Chitrajalpa,
Chitrajalpa, and
Sujalpa.
all other things. It may be like in Jasoda and others also, and Jasoda, Lalita, Vishakha. But this Madanakhya Bhav, not in Chandravali, not even in Lalita, Vishakha, anyone.
Monopoly of Radhika.
Only it be when Krishna or Radhika are sitting together,
Meeting.
but by thinking, they are thinking, they say, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna, Radhika? So he began to lament, where? So this is Madanakhya Bhav, not in any other. So up to this bhakti covers. In this way I was going to tell that bhakti is of two kinds. Vaidhi bhakti and raganuga. What is Vaidhi bhakti? Jatra ragan anuvapta pravritti rupajayate sasanen eva shastasya sa Vaidhi bhakti iti uchyata. Nowadays, especially in European countries, in Russia, they are Russic. They want, rush. That they don't like Vaidhi bhakti. At once they want to go up to the top of the tree of prem. Madanakhya Bhav they want only. They don't want to follow Vaidhi bhakti. Very dangerous. You should be very careful from these nonsense Sahajiya Vaishnava.
Bogus philosophy.
In Radhakund we see, in Vrindavan too, the Babaji, they gave anyone who don't know how to clean their,
How to be pure after passing.
they don't know, no knowledge at all, quite foolish, and they gave them Siddhadeva. And having Siddhadeva, you are now Manjari of Vrindavan. And there you are serving Radha and Krishna. And what becomes these unqualified persons thinking this, and they have some widow ladies with them, and they began to test, Parkiya Bhav. Understand meaning? What meaning?
First they became Babaji, then catch Mataji, became Pitaji.
Very dangerous. And then so many children comes, Babaji. And very beautiful young lady. So we see, I have warned my all disciples, sannyasi, brahmachari, all. Be careful for this. Krishna has told, natural tendency of these worldly living beings, even in snakes, even in donkeys, monkeys,
Dog, hog.
especially Krishna has told to Uddhav that donkeys always bitten by behind legs of
She-donkey.
even follows. And secondly, donkey or
Hathi.
Camel.
no.
সবই পুংসা পরো সবই বরাহ উষ্ট করে সংস্কৃত পুরুষ চারটা উদাহরণ দিই সবই পুংসা সবই বরাহ উষ্ট করে
Beta,
Sabit.
Varah.
Kutta.
Also, you should know that you know she goat and male goat. Goat. If anyone takes donkey, I was telling, beaten by
Hind leg.
even follows, and a she goat and male goat. Male goat is going to be killed. Slaughterhouse. And there if he sees any she goat, very shameless that goat, he wants to have sex with that she goat. How this wonderful these things. If at that time, at the time of day, so we should be very careful for these ladies to male, male to ladies, vice versa. So very careful for this. So where there is not rag, only by the reading the Shastra that you used to do bhakti of Krishna. If you will not do, then you must go to heaven. Hell.
Without any hell.
By fear of this, if anyone engages his mind in bhakti, then it is called Vaidhi. What is rag? Where rag is not, what is the meaning of rag? Rag means in Subal Siddham, Nand Baba, Jashoda Maiya, and especially in his Gopi, especially in Lalita Vishakha and Srimati Radhika. Rag means love and affection to his last point, by which they serve Krishna and they control Krishna. This is rag. And that rag, in whom this rag is there, they are ragatmika. And hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam from any bona fide Guru Vaishnava, if anyone has greed, I want to serve Krishna like Subal Siddham Madhumangal. I want to serve Krishna like Mother Jashoda. How? Nanda Kim Akrut Brahman Shreya Eo Mahodayam
Yasoda Chabhaga.
Jasya Astanam.
Papau Hari.
What Nanda Baba has done? How fortunate Mother Jashoda that Krishna, being Supreme Lord, he took the breast of Mother Jashoda. So if anyone wants to serve Krishna like Mother, if anyone more than that, what? Like gopis. Krishna has told what? Napare ham nirvadya sanjujan. I cannot repay gopis because for me they have left everything. Their husband, their wives, their children, their wealth, their body looking, ornament, everything for Krishna. And Krishna is telling that I cannot leave anyone as you have left for me, so I cannot repay you. Only you can repay by your good qualities only. Hearing this, gopis told, "O Krishna, you have accepted that I am ready of gopis. But really, by telling this, you have won and we are defeated. So, here, that mood, more than that, Anaya Radhito Nunam Bhagavan Hari Rishvara Janno Vihai Bhut. Oh, in among Srimati Radhika is supreme, most beloved of Krishna. Because Krishna left all the gopis there in Rasasthali and he went taking Radhika with him. So surely this Radhika has pleased Supreme Lord, and by the mercy of this Krishna is very happy with that lady. So Radhika. But if anyone has that greed, but there should be some symptoms. Only telling that, oh, I have greed. Oh, I have seen Radhika. Not his feet, but I have seen the Navi. Navi means? Navel of Radhika I have seen. Oh, bogus person. Stupid and nonsense. Rascal also. If anyone take darshan of Radhika, he cannot be in this world. Only Narad has seen a glance of his Narayana and then disappeared and told that, oh, I never seen give darshan to those who are kuyogi, not pure. So, how it is possible? So we should know all these things. Shastrokta parvalya tanmayadi tananta vaidi bhakti riyam kaschan marjadam. O Vallabhacharya is still marjada. Those who follow the instructions of Shastra, that is Bhagavatam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasivanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasam. These are Vaidhi Bhakti. Also 4, Sadhu Sang, 5, Sadhu Sang, Bhagavad Sravan, Mathura Bas, Sadhaya Murti Seman, Sadhu Sang, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Sravan, Mathura Bas, Sri Murti Seman. These are 5 angas of Bhakti. If you will follow without aparad, very soon prema bhakti will come. So, this Raganuga bhakti is very high. Symptoms, by symptoms we can see. Chanti abhyakt kalattam viraktir manasandata. Can you? Can? Shanti abhyakt kalattam virakti manasandata. Asa bandasam. Not a sloka, not a symptom. Upare dada. Because we will go to.
Om Akantulam Sagananyana Salagaya Chakchurmidam Jena Tasmani Sri Guru. Vansha Rosa Vipasan Krita Vanam Pavanabo Vaishnavi Purnabo. First of all, I offer my humble respectful Pranam. Let us be the Mithra Lapsam Vishnupada Sabbat Vedan Savan Goswami Maharaj and Vishnupada Pariprali Sabbat Vedan Savan Goswami Maharaj and all sannyasis and brahmachari and all respectful guests. Gurudeva ordered to me to discuss about the symptom of Bhava Bhakti. Srila Rupa Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given the definition of Bhakti. Suddha Satta Visheshatma Prema Sujjan Samabhav Ruchi Vichitas Marchina Kridasu Bhav Uchyate. In this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad explained that the 2 symptoms of Bhav Bhakta. That means Bhav manifested one's heart. There are 2 symptoms. One is called the Sarup Lakshan and another is called Tatastha Lakshan. Sarup Lakshan is 3 And Tarasa Lakshan, that is intended. Tarasa Lakshan, that is called nine symptoms. Sarva Lakshan 3, that is called Bhagavad Bhakti Abhilasa. He is always to desire how to attain to Lord. That is called Bhagavad Bhakti Abhilasa. Sauhridya Bhav, he has so much friendship with the eternal associator of Lord Krishna. And Anukulamayin Chesta, all his endeavors, how to serve to Krishna, which is favorable for him. These are the three internal symptoms of Bhav Sadhak. Then 9, there are the external symptoms. Tarsa Lakshan very clearly explained in this way. Chandirapatta kadattam prakti manasunnata asa bandhu samutkanta nama gane sadaruchi asakti tadagnanukkhane pratitadavasati sthale ittadeo anubhava sujato. In this way, very clearly explained. Khanti apatta chanti. First is Kanti means if any problem will come in his life, right, his mind is never disturbed. That's called Shanti. Always his mind completely, you are calm and quiet and engaged with Krishna Seva, Guru Seva. This is called the Shanti. And Parikshit Maharaj, he had given the example. Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard this Rishi told, oh, within my son has given the curse. Within 7 days, the Takshak, the serpent, will come and bite you. But when Parikshit Maharaj, he heard this thing, but his mind not disturbed. Then he said, oh, Bhagavad, then I have to live in this material world 7 days. This is my guarantee. So this is called Chanti. His mind not disturbed. So Chanti. Apattha Kalatam. Apattha Kalatam, that means he does not waste one moment, right, except Krishna Seva. Always he engages his mind, body and speech. That's called Deha, Man and Kai Bhakta. And with his three, with his body, with his mind and with his speech, engages himself to serve Guru and Krishna. And Shantira Apattha Kalatam. Bhakti, he completely detached from the enjoying the sense gratification. That's called Bhakti. Bhakti Manasunnata. That means he completely free from all kinds of reputation. That means he is not hankering to get any kinds of reputation. That's called name and fame. Apattha Manasunnata. Chandrapata Bhakti and Bhakti Manasunnata. Asa Bandhu. He is only one hope when I will attain to Lord. Ajata Pakshaiva Matarang Khaga Stannang Jatha Vasarata Kudarta Priyam Priyeva Puchitang Visanna Manu Arvindacha Didikshate Tvam. Vitrasu recited this verse. Very nice. If I explain more time it takes, so I go quickly. Okay? So this is the Chandra Pratama Bhakti Manasun Asa Bandhu, only one hope when I will attain my perfection goal, Asa Bandhu. Samut Kantha, always Igami is coming. Igami is coming, Hankaring coming, always. When I attain my perfection goal, Chandra Pratama Bhakti Manas Asa Bandhu Samut Kantha.